All right, everyone, get ready because today we are going to dive deep into general site options.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, general site options? That sounds a little dry, doesn't it?
Well, it sounds pretty technical for sure.
Yeah, it does. And to be fair, it is. We're talking about a 22-page document, really technical document. And most people, when they think about that, they think, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I usually run away when I see those sorts of things.
Yeah, it's not the sexiest thing. But this document, believe it or not, is hiding a ton of cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's really about customizing websites, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah, you're right. This document's almost like a secret menu for websites. It
That-
shows how things work and how you can tweak things that you probably didn't even realize you could.
Yeah, exactly. And what I thought was really interesting, just going over it, and we're going to dive into some specifics here, but it really shows how much thought goes into making a website.
Absolutely. And I think one of the big takeaways is just how many decisions are being made behind the scenes that users never even think about.
It's like we always talk about that iceberg, right? You see the tip of the iceberg, but you don't see all the stuff that's going on underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the things that jumped out at me right away was this idea of there is a setting for occupy entire window when the site is inside a frame. And I thought, okay, what does that even mean? And then I remembered all those times that I've clicked on a link and it opens up in this little tiny window.
Oh, yeah. It's like being stuck in a phone booth.
Right. And it's like, why am I looking at this? I can barely even see it. It's this little thing.
And then you've got to find a way to make it bigger. And sometimes you can't even figure out how to do that.
Yeah, you gotta like drag the corners or something. So apparently there's a setting that you can change that makes it so that your website, no matter what, will always occupy the full window.
I mean, just thinking about it from a user experience perspective, that's huge. Because when you're looking at a website in a tiny little box, it just feels less important,
Yeah.
right? Like it doesn't have that same impact.
Yeah, like if I'm going to give a presentation, I want it to be on the big screen. I don't want it to be on my phone.
Right. Exactly. It's about giving the content the space it deserves. Now, on the flip side, think about when you are actually on a website and you've clicked through a few links and you're trying to get back to where you started.
Oh, yeah, you're lost. You're in the internet rabbit hole.
Right, you're in the weeds.
Yeah.
And this document, it actually talks about something called show parent parts on part detail page. And essentially what this does is it gives you those breadcrumbs back to where you came from.
Oh, so it's like Hansel and Gretel, but instead of breadcrumbs, it's links.
Exactly. So, if you're shopping for something online, let's say you're looking at a specific coffee maker and you've drilled down into the details, but you want to see what other coffee makers they have. This setting makes it so you don't have to hit the back button a million times. You can just jump back up to the category level.
It's like a lifeline for those of us who get easily distracted by shiny internet things.
Right. So that's all about information architecture, which is, again, something that's happening behind the scenes, but it has a huge impact on how we experience a website.
Yeah.
Now, let's switch gears for a sec and talk about something that website owners really love, and that's data.
Data, the lifeblood of the internet. Everybody wants to know, like, is my website doing anything? Who's looking at it? Where are they coming from? All that good stuff.
And this document has a setting for a monthly usage report.
Oh, so this is where we separate the casual website owner from the serious business owner.
Yeah, this is getting down to business.
Yeah.
So this report, it's basically like a health checkup for your website. It tells you how many visitors you're getting, what pages they're looking at, how long they're staying on each page.
So you can finally put those analytics skills you learned to good use.
Exactly. And what's great about this is it gives website owners the information they need to actually improve their sites.
Because in the online world, knowledge is power, or at least the power to get more clicks.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Speaking of making life easier, have you ever been on a website and you're scrolling through a really long page and you want to click a button that's all the way at the top?
Oh, I hate that. It's the worst.
It's the worst, right? So this document, it mentions something called sticky buttons, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, tell me more about these magical sticky buttons. What are they all about?
So they stick to the screen as you scroll, so you don't have to scroll all the way back up to, say, add something to your cart or save your changes.
It's like they're mocking you, those buttons. Come on, just a little bit further, and then poof, they're gone.
Exactly. So frustrating. But with sticky buttons, they just stay put. No matter how much you scroll, they're right there with you, ready to go.
Okay, that makes sense. It's those little things, They can make a huge difference. Now, this next one is a little bit more, technical sounding. It's BML print logging. And I'll be honest, I'm not even sure what that means.
Yeah, it sounds pretty intimidating, right? But it's actually pretty simple. Basically, it's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for the developers.
Mm.
If something goes wrong on the website, this logging helps them figure out what happened and where.
So it's like a detective's case file, but for websites.
Exactly. It helps them track down any errors or glitches and fix them quickly.
Gotcha. So it's all about keeping things running smoothly behind the scenes, which is super important, but something most people probably don't even think about.
Right. Most of the time, we only notice when things go wrong. Speaking of things that can go wrong, have you ever tried to view a website on your phone and it's just a nightmare to navigate?
Oh, all the time. It's like trying to cram a whole desktop website onto this tiny little screen.
Right, it's awful. But there's actually a setting that can help with it. It's called Enable Desktop Selector Links on Mobile Homepage.
Okay, so what exactly does that do?
Well, it basically makes sure that the website looks good on both desktop computers and mobile devices.
So it's not just about making the text bigger.
No, it's about optimizing the entire layout for smaller screens.
So the buttons are in the right place, the menus make sense, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's about creating a seamless experience no matter what device you're using. And this is crucial nowadays because, let's face it, most people are browsing the web on their phones.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about user experience, but there's another really important aspect that this document covers, and that's security. And one setting that really stood out to me was allowed IP ranges.
Ah, yes, that's a big one. Essentially, this allows website owners to control who has access to their site.
So it's like a digital bouncer for your website?
Exactly. Every device has a unique IP address, and with this setting, you can create a whitelist of allowed IP addresses.
So if your IP address isn't on the list, you're not getting in.
That's right. And this is particularly important for websites that handle sensitive information, like financial transactions or personal data. It adds an extra layer of security.
Makes sense. It's like putting a lock on your digital front door.
Exactly. Going through this document really highlights how much the web is constantly evolving. What's considered best practice today might be completely outdated tomorrow.
It's true. It seems like there's always something new to learn. So how do developers even keep up with all the changes?
It's a constant process of learning and adapting. This document, as technical as it may seem, is really just a snapshot of current best practices in web development.
It really is fascinating, when you start to peel back the layers of something like a website, you don't realize how much goes into it until you start looking at these, almost granular settings.
Like anything else, right? The
Yeah.
more you learn about something, the more you realize how much you don't know.
Exactly. And one thing that's become really clear to me going through this document is the incredible amount of control that website owners actually have.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about controlling access, optimizing for different devices, making things easier to use, but it goes way beyond that. They can really fine-tune every aspect of the user experience.
It's like having a giant control panel with all these knobs and dials, and you can just tweak things to your heart's content.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so powerful because it allows website owners to create a truly tailored experience for their audience.
It's like the difference between wearing a suit off the rack versus having one custom made for you. It's just a better fit.
I like that analogy
Yeah.
because it's true. You can go with the default settings or you can take the time to really understand the options and create something unique.
And it makes you realize, there's a real art to this. It's not just about throwing up a website and hoping for the best.
Not at all. It's about understanding your audience, your goals, and then using these tools to bring it all together.
Well said. So the next time you're browsing the web and you stumble across a website that just seems to get you, remember there's probably a lot of thought and effort that went into making it that way.
Absolutely. It's all about those hidden details, the things you don't always see but definitely experience.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of general site options.
It was a pleasure exploring it with you.
Until next time.